everybody, welcome back to Plant Mamacita. Thank you guys again for tuning in to another video of mine. All of your nice comments and likes really have been encouraging me to make a lot more planty content, and it's really helping me get through my weeks in quarantine. It's giving me another amazing thing to add on to my hobby, and I'm really enjoying making these videos. I just wanted to let you guys know that because it really has been helping me a lot to get through just regular life, you know, right now what everyone's going through. But I just wanted to say again, thank you so much for all your support. It means a lot. I know I'm such a tiny channel right now, but even just knowing that a couple people are watching my videos, it means a lot. Like, it really does. If you haven't read the title already, we are going to be going over my Hoya collection. I'm very excited to share this with you guys because I do have a handful of Hoyas. I think I honestly have 10 Hoyas, so if I'm not mistaken. But we're kind of like even Steven with that right now, and the collection is obviously going to continue growing as the years and months go by, even, like, because you never know. I'm still like on the hunt for Hoyas everywhere, and it's just like I'm a Hoya head. I'm a proud one. Love it. But yeah, so today we are going to be talking about all the Hoyas I have today. Basically, I do want to just go over the care needs for all Hoyas in general, just so that I'm not repeating myself throughout the video, because they all pretty much have the same care needs. So we're just going to go ahead and talk about that really quick. Pretty much Hoyas, they have similar care like succulents do. So if you have succulents, you kind of know that they do like their soil to dry out before you water them. They do not like to be overwatered because they will decline real quick, and you don't want that to happen, because I learned that. I mean, honestly, I haven't really struggled with the Hoya too badly, but I do notice whenever I overwater just even like by a little bit, it does show real fast. Like I did, I think on my queen, that I watered her a little bit too soon and she did get yellow. So that happens really easily. Their root system is super fragile. They're really dainty roots, and they take a long time to root. As a plant in general, like, their roots just take a while to grow in the soil and stuff. So just keep that in mind whenever you are watering. They don't have a bunch of roots to absorb all that water. That being said, don't overwater them. Water them when the soil dries out. Summer months, usually once a week, you want to find that happy spot in the week where you can water your Hoya. Typically, I water them on the same day, because they're kind of like, they're in the same room, so they kind of have the same amount of time for their soil to dry out. So I have usually it's Wednesdays or Fridays that I'll water all my Hoyas pretty much. But yeah, so that's watering. Lighting, they love bright and direct light. They could probably honestly handle a little bit of direct sunlight, but not a lot, because they will get sunburnt and they could crisp up if you give them too much direct sun. And then I do keep all my Hoyas in bright and direct light. They're all up front and center in the windowsill, so that's where they're all kind of sitting. They're really happy there. I do have an east-facing window, so it's that beautiful bright morning sun for a few hours, and then medium light throughout the day, and then low light in the evenings, and so on and so forth. I do have grow lights, however, for the most part they do get a lot of natural sun as well, because they're all in the windowsill. So that's with the lighting, just bright and direct light. Some can handle medium light, but they're not going to grow as fast. So if you're trying to get your Hoyas to grow really quick, give them that bright light, and you will definitely see the payoff with that, because they will start just growing like a new leaf every week or even every other day. It's just really awesome, and it makes you happy. So yeah, that's what their light requirements are. Pretty much with fertilizing, I just fertilize in the growing season, which is spring to the beginning of fall in my area of where I live. I live in Texas, so we do have a late fall. Pretty much our fall doesn't, our temperatures don't really drop until late October, you know. So I have a long growing season where I live, which I love, because you can fertilize more and you can get them those extra nutrients, and you really see them take off when you start fertilizing. So that usually is anywhere from March to, depending where you live. For me, I live in zone 9B, so ours is pretty much from March to October. But some people like September. That's more commonly said and suggested. But for me, I do the extra mile and I stretch it out as long as I can. As long as it's really hot and they're not really freezing or going through any freezes, I just keep on fertilizing, you know. Fertilizing whenever you do, every 2 weeks to once a month. Me, I play it safe. I do it once a month, and it's really easy to lose track when you fertilize. So I suggest maybe making a log of whenever you fertilize and keep that in mind to whenever you fertilize again, because if you over fertilize, you could really hurt the plant. You could damage the roots really bad, which causes leaf burn, root burn, and it just declines in general. So just keep that in mind. Don't over fertilize. Kind of like I say, don't overwater, don't over fertilize. I like to use a fish fertilizer. I do 1/4 of the amount that is suggested on the bottle, and I put it in a gallon of water and I just water them. I typically, another tip with the watering, since we're here again kind of, I bottom water all of my Hoyas. I swear by bottom watering because the plant pretty much drinks all the water that it needs without any help. Like, it just does its thing. It drinks until it's done, and when it had enough, it stops absorbing. So really suggest bottom watering for all plants in general, but especially Hoya, just because, like I said, it's really easy to overwater those babies. So be very gentle with them and they will be happy. Moving on to humidity. They really don't need humidity. However, they are pretty tropical plants. They love humidity. They will thrive in humidity and they will grow a lot faster. However, my room is not that humid. Probably, you know, anywhere from the 40 to 50 range percent, and mine are doing just fine. I think that they are happy. I miss them every single day and they are pretty happy with that. You could even miss them throughout the day. If you want that extra humidity, you could get a humidifier. You could use pebble trays, misting, whatever floats your boat to create more humidity, because they do like it, but they don't need it. And then an extra added thing I do want to mention about Hoyas, they do grow tendrils, and these tendrils cling to anything that they could get their little hands on. So I suggest, if you find that your Hoya is growing super long and like reaching around everywhere, I really suggest that you maybe supply it with a trellis. You could buy one or you could make one. I personally like to make mine. I use little bamboo sticks with some twine, and I will create my own little custom trellis, because, you know, you could just design it however you want. But yeah, that's just an extra thing to add on. They do like to trail, hang, or climb, so keep that in mind. Okay, so I don't want to talk too much in this video. I don't want it to be super duper long, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started and sharing my Hoya collection with you guys. Alright, like I said, I do have 10 to talk about today. First off, I'm not going in any particular order. This guy is a Hoya obovata. It is very adorable. It is so cute. I love how they have round leaves. This one, it has a little bit of splash on it, and it's just so cute. I love this plant so much. I cherish it with all my heart. I'm very happy that it is loving my home, and it has been thriving ever since I brought it here. I've had it probably about 6 months now, and it is just doing amazing. Finally, in the growing season, it is putting out a long tendril and growing its little baby leaves. These are actually pretty new to the plant, and you can tell because it's so tiny. And then this one grew out, and it's super thin. If you can't really tell because you can't touch it, but this leaf is, the newer leaves come out thinner, and then they thicken and get more succulent like whenever they mature. Alright, so the second Hoya here, it is a Hoya Bella. I love this Hoya. It is so dainty and it looks so fragile and beautiful. However, it is not that fragile. This one is a little bit more thirstier than the other Hoyas, so you can typically, if you want to be on the safe part of Hoya, you could get this Hoya Bella because they don't, they're not too easy to overwater because they're kind of thirsty girls, and you could water it maybe depending on the temperature in your home 2 times a week, but always be safe than sorry. For me, what I do, I just kind of weigh it. I get an idea of whenever I feel like it's too light and it needs some water. Like that means it's pretty dried out and it is probably thirsty. But yeah, this is Hoya Bella. It's a little bit more harder to come across, but if you do see one, I really suggest that you snag it up because they're beautiful and super easygoing. Okay, the next Hoya we're talking about here is a Hoya Hindu rope. It is so adorable. This one was actually in 2 2-inch pots, but I did pot it up together and it is pretty happy. I don't know if I'm doing the best with this plant because it does dry out a lot. I don't know if it has anything to do with me having it in a clay pot, but it does dry out so much. And this is another tip, suggestion. If you see that, you see how it's so wrinkly like that? Usually when your Hoyas are really wrinkly and soft to the, if you squeeze them, you know, if they're pretty squishy rather than firm, they're thirsty. So, but yeah, this one is always constantly thirsty and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because it's hot. It's summer months and it just needs a lot more water right now. A Hoya Carnosa Compacta. This one is really cool. This is a more common Hoya and I just love it. I love how cool it looks. It literally does look like rope. It looks really quirky and curly and is so cute. So if you like quirky plants, Hoya Compacta. Okay, now next is my last hanging Hoya at the moment is a Hoya Crinkle 8. This one I actually got online and it came in impeccable shape. Impeccable, like it was perfect. But it's gotten so big since I've had it. It's probably been around close to a year now that I've had this plant and it's just loving life. It's hanging and trailing really beautifully and it's also like reaching out and creating more vines on the sides, and you can like see this one right here is kind of like hanging out and about to start trailing more, and it's just really cute. I love this one. This is very similar to the Hoya Obovata as far as care needs. You could just give the little leaves a squeeze. If they're firm, they're fine. And if the leaves are soft, then that means they're probably thirsty, so just keep that in mind. This one's doing pretty well. You can see I just want to share this with you guys. A little new baby right there that's growing. It's right there. So cute. Okay, so the lighting is going to switch just a little bit just because I do really want to show you all the Hoyas, but they are all pretty much in the same place right now for the last of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and sit in front of them so it's not so hard on y'all for me moving around and everything. Okay, so the next one. Alright, so this is going to be the 5th Hoya that I'm sharing with you guys. This is a Hoya Crimson Princess in all her glory and her precious princessness. I love this one so much. I have had this probably honestly 4 months. I did cut it back a lot because it was kind of reverting back to green. You can tell this is actually a new leaf that grew out after I had chopped off all the green leaves. So it's kind of just still growing a lot of green leaves, which is kind of bumming me out. But it does still have a lot of creamy leaves, so I'm not going to complain too much. So it's still cute. I love this guy. You might recognize this baby in my last video, actually in yesterday's post. This is my Hoya Billabata. I already clarified I am still calling it Billabata just because I like to say that name. But yeah, so this is my Hoya Billabata. It is in a 6-inch pot and it's trailing. Super adorable. This plant is going to be featured on my channel a lot already, so y'all probably are tired of seeing this plant, but I am not tired of sharing it, so I will talk about it all day if I want. No, but it's so happy. Still has some new growth going on and it's just you know, really cute. This is actually a propagated Hoya that I've had. It's not in the best looking shape, so don't judge it. It's a baby plant. It's a Hoya lacunosa. This is it right here. It is very, very sparse, very leggy, and very kind of quirky looking, but I like it. It's so cute. It is pretty adorable. It has very fragile leaves. You can see them here. The leaves are very tiny compared to a lot of the Hoyas I've been showing. This one is kind of similar to the HOYAAAA as far as watering goes. You could probably go a little bit heavier on the watering with this guy, especially mine, because it's in a clay pot, so the moisture gets absorbed a lot faster. So I pretty much water this one more often than all the other Hoyas, so, but it's super duper cute. Alright, and the next plant I'm sharing with you guys is this beautiful Hoya Crimson Queen. It is so lovely. The royalty, the royalty. But yeah, this one is so adorable, super big. I'm trying to, yeah, that's all of it right here. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. I love it to death. It's lovely, and I have it trailing on this little it's just a bamboo stick, but I like it though. I like how it's trailing upwards. This is actually one of the first Hoya I did trellis, so yeah, it's just a stick in the soil. But it's so cute. I love this plant a lot. It is really happy. It kept its variegation this whole time, and none of the leaves are reverting back, so I mean, knock on wood. But yeah, it's doing really well. This actually growing more leaves. If you can see the babies here, this one's actually a pink leaf. If you can tell the red edging, it's getting a little bit of sun stress, but it is adorable. I absolutely love when they do that, and then it just growing like everywhere. Alright, so these guys I'm probably going to share as a pair because they are kind of in an entanglement, as the cool kids say nowadays. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Please excuse me. Pretty much this one is Hoya macrophylla. This one is super adorable. It has huge leaves, very full and very happy. It is intertwined with my Hoya pubic calyx, which is right here. It's more full on this side, but along the trellis it's super duper full, and it's really happy. You can see it's going like in a little U. I'll try to go like this, but yeah. That is my two Hoyas. They are kind of holding onto each other with all their might. They really like each other a lot, if you can't tell. But these ones are really, really beautiful. Actually, this Hoya pubic calyx was my first Hoya that I purchased, so I'm really happy that it's still with me and it is thriving and doing so amazing. That is it right here. So cute. It has very splashy leaves. Adorable. And this one here, the macrophylla, I actually got it locally. I was tempted to buy it online from other places, but I ended up finding it locally, thank God. But yeah, it is adorable. I love it so very much. It is putting out growth everywhere, as you can tell. I don't know if you guys can see that little baby leaf there. Right here, you can kind of tell the little baby growth. It's so cute. I love it so much. I'm gonna go ahead and put these babies back because they're kind of crazy and wild. I'm telling you, Hoyas are crazy. They grow wherever they want. It's their world. We're just living in it. Alright, so that is going to conclude today's video. Those are all the Hoyas that I have in my collection. I did my best at showing you guys what they look like. I know that the lighting is kind of crazy, but it's probably because of my grow lights, so that is why it's kind of hard to like gauge how it's gonna come on camera. But anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a wrap on this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed seeing my Hoya collection. I know it's not huge, but I know it's not small. I'm kind of like in between, you know, but I'm totally going to be getting more Hoyas in the future. I actually ordered one online and it shipped out today, so that's gonna be a future video that you guys should stay tuned for, because I'm gonna do an unboxing and it's gonna be super fun. But yeah, so give this video a big like if you have any of the same Hoyas that I do, or if you just like any of the Hoyas I shared with you guys today. I hope that some of my advice helped somebody out there that have that has Hoyas and don't know a lot about them. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are into planty things, because this is what this channel is all about. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!